Today, I'm 5 days in to my 180-day body transformation challenge. And there's something that I've learned about goals, which I'm applying to this. And that is, it all depends on creating momentum, meaning your success. So today I'm going to share with you 10 insights that you can apply for your own journey, whether it's going for your body transformation goal or any other goal that you're aiming for. So while I've got it down for some quick notes so that I can chat with you and stay on track and hopefully keep this video in under 10 minutes, maybe even 8. Let's see. Depends what insights pour out of me here as well, because I might give you more than 10. Maybe. Hang in there. But the first one that I want to share with you is a lot of people, this comes from the place that a lot of people are chasing clarity first. And while clarity is important, what will help you get that clear vision is first making a decision. Your decision of what you're choosing to create and having a strong why behind it will help, but your decision will move you into action, and through action you'll create a clearer vision. Now, a clear why is important. I'm just going to segue here. This could be another little insight, but the importance of the why gives you the fuel, the drive of what you're doing it, why you're doing it. And that is a really important thing. I'll come back to that one with another insight that I have. So here's another one, because I'm always speaking with my clients about how do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. And you need to break down your big goal down to something small. So, for example, it's often difficult finding out what that clear vision is because it's such a big vision. And it's then difficult to actually move forward because people are trying to take too big of a leap all at once. And so one of the most valuable things you can do is just simply decide that you want to move forward. So for me, I was like, I am going to commit to 180 days for my body transformation. And if I don't hit my target goal by then, that's fine. I'll do another 180 days, but I'm going for one key focus, a milestone. Then the second thing is to be taking small steps, that micro goals, because when you have a big goal, you need to chunk it down into small daily steps. And so just taking that first step, that first action, going for a walk, going to the gym and doing a light workout, really important so that you don't get too sore in the case of body fitness, which will cause you to stop. So going for small goals and small steps and taking them regular, being consistent will compound it. A third one is accountability through visibility or sharing your journey. Now this could be with just one friend or something as big as what I'm doing, sharing my whole journey on the internet. Now, look, let me give you my why for the purpose of sharing this on the internet. One, I love inspiring people, but my bigger reason behind it is in my business, in my life, the phase I'm in with my journey in my business, I'm ready to be more visible and do more speaking and be out on the stage, get out from behind the Zoom calls and actually out into the world again. And to be really frank, really brutally honest, one of the things that was holding me back with that was this idea that I wasn't feeling very comfortable in my body. And I thought, okay, well, if that's holding me back, let me address it. And rather than just try and do this journey on my own behind the scenes until or when I hit the goal, I thought, no, this is my way of being accountable. I'm going to share it and actually have you join me on the journey. Plus also by me addressing the fact that I'm feeling a bit vulnerable and uncomfortable being in my body and being visible, I was like, let me just take that away and let me enjoy the process with you and bring you on the journey with me. Plus, I'm literally getting out away from behind the Zoom and I'm physically getting into the world virtually at this stage, but soon I'll be on the stages too. The fourth one is reframe setbacks as feedback, not failure. Now, in this case, in the past, I used to be a personal trainer and then I became a paramedic. That was my predominant career. And then after my career as well, I was also up and down with fitness. So I've been really fit and I've been pretty fat along the way. varying. Like right now, I'm 30 kilos heavier than I was at my best fitness at 40. And I turned 50 this year. Now, my puppies are making some noises and getting pig's ears. So if you, if you hear that in the background, that's what's going on. So reframing any setbacks as feedback. So in the case of my putting on the weight recently in the last 4 or 5 years, I'm in a phase that is different to when I was hit my 40th birthday goal, which I may flash up a picture somewhere around here to show you what I transformed my body to in a pretty short period of time. But the difference is back then I had a lot more time available, less responsibilities. I was not a parent as well. And pre-COVID and all the other stuff that's going on, there's a lot of things that have happened in the last 9-10 years in my world that have amplified the amount of responsibilities and priorities. And so it was a different phase of my life. And I accepted that it was temporary, not permanent, even though I was uncomfortable. But I have chosen recently to go, right, I'm sacrificing the excuses and all the other reasons that have been holding me back. My son, who is now 9, is able to be a lot more independent. He can even come with me to some of the places where I go and work out with me. So it's a different phase that I'm at. But I'm turning any kind of failure that I've experienced in the past, failure, quote unquote, and using it as feedback. And rather than going into shame and making yourself feel miserable around that, it's much better to go into looking at what can you do moving forward, what works, what didn't. And one of my frameworks that I love to use is what are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing? What are you going to do less of? And what are you going to do more of? I'll speak more about where you can find out more about that soon. So then the fifth one, we're on to the fifth inside. And that is energy first. And this is related to the feedback as well. So you want to thank your body and thank life before you even go into a practical, strategic or tactical move. You want to be in a place of energetically aligned with gratitude. I talk a lot about my GGA, which is gratitude, gains, and appreciation. And look, a lot of this stems from my paramedic days. I used to wake up some mornings before shift thinking, and having that pause of anxiety even, not about my work, but about my own personal life and the conflicts and the issues that I had going on in my relationship there. But what helped me stabilize that and make my shift for me was that I would wake up instead of, I would wake up and instead say thank you. And this began not too long into my career as a paramedic because, well, the fact was, every day I went on shift, usually it was a bad day for someone else. A death or a permanent injury or something that happened either to a person or the families, and they never thought it would happen to them. And so I chose to keep my focus on gratitude of thank you, I'm alive, even though I got challenges, and thank you for the challenges. And so that gratitude for life brings me into the present moment so that I can then face head on what I want to create for the day and even, develop some growth and adjustments when it comes to challenges. So the energy first. By the way, the gratitude and then the gains, this is another little insight here, is focusing on the gains, those micro momentum, rather than the gap. So many people just focus just on what they haven't got there yet. So I'll come back to this in a minute, but focusing on the wins of every day, no matter how small they are, is really beneficial in raising your vibration and your energy. And then, of course, appreciation. So appreciation for me is deeper than gratitude. Gratitude is being thankful. Appreciation is noticing the detail. It's going into, I'm grateful that I can go for a walk in the sunshine today, but I really appreciate the feeling of that sun kissing my skin and the wind in my hair and being able to breathe clean air and to be able to just enjoy the daylight, and some vitamin D in my body. You see how the appreciation goes deeper? So that really comes into the energy first. And I use my GGA framework as a tool to be able to get your vibration high, be in a higher frequency, and it feels really good. So it puts your energy first. Okay, number 6. This is 6? Yes, number 6. Consistency beats frequency. Now, while there is importance for frequency, meaning the amount of times that you do it, consistency is more important. Being consistent in mindset, in your choice of what you're doing, sticking to the values of your health and fitness, in my case. Now, your case it might not be a fitness goal, it might be a business goal or a project goal or a relationship goal, but how are you showing up consistently, energetically for that? Also, being consistent with the approach. So for me, let me keep it clear with the body fitness challenge. I'm in the kitchen right now and I'm choosing to be consistent with the quality of the food that I'm consuming, consistent with hydrating, consistent with my herbal teas, and frequency with regard there's a focus on that 2 ways. One is, like, for example, how frequently do you work out? Well, that is important, but your consistency is more important to begin with, because you'll build the frequency the more consistent you are. So consistency first. And the other side of this too is, like, if you are consistent 80% of the time, 90% of the time, and you infrequently have something that is not really 100% aligned towards your goals, well, then that's okay as long as you're consistent most of the time. Makes sense? And I treat this journey, like I do for anything I do, any goal, as an experiment. So it's not like it has to be perfect along the way. It's progress. It's treating it like a bit of a journey, an experiment that I'm looking at what's working, what's not working, how can I be better and more effective. And I don't use any judgment to beat myself up for any goal. And I strongly encourage you to take that on board as a focus as well, because it's really valuable. Okay, let me have a sip. I'm sorry for the sound on the mic. But next one is celebrate the journey, not just the destination. And this one's really important because I always say the joy is in the journey. Most people focus on the gap. Remember I said in the GGA, gratitude gains appreciation. Well, the opposite of gains is gap. Most people are focusing on what they haven't got done yet or how far they've got to go instead of just focusing on the gains they've already made. And so when you focus on the gains in the small wins, they compound and your joy expands. And then before you know it, you're closer and closer to the destination anyway. But by being focused on the joy in the journey, getting to the destination is so much more fun because it's most of the time anyway, right? And then when you get to the destination, you appreciate it even more because you really have all these wins stacked up and it's not just about the end point. All right, this one's a big one. This one's number 8, and it's about confidence. A lot of people say to me, and I witness in what they do in their action, they wait until their mindset is, when I see or have it, then I will do it, and then I will be it. So when I see myself lean and fit, then I'll go to the gym and eat better, and then I'll be confident or happy. That's all backwards. What you need to do in order to be confident, you just need to be able to shift that certainty from outside of yourself to internal. And what do I mean by that? It looks like this. Instead of being, waiting to be confident by being certain about what or how you're going to get there, you shift it to being, I'm confident I'm going to figure this out. Right? And confidence and certainty are very much linked because that's really what it's about. When you're certain about something, you feel confident about something. And another little secret here is when you feel certain about something, you feel safe. And so if you really want to tap into confidence, then you need to tap into creating an energetic frequency within yourself that you feel safe. Now, you can't control what other people, things and circumstances, what they do out there, but you can with yourself. And if you're confident that you'll figure it out along the way, then the reality is you will. So here's another really big key one. I'm always about tracking, recording, and documenting your journey. And so for me, physically doing it this time, I'm actually recording it every single day with little reels, little snippets of my story and my journey. And that's going to have different angles to it every day. I'm being creative. I don't know what that all looks like yet. Again, here's an example of, being confident. I'm going to figure it out. But I just know that I'm going to follow my intuition, which is something I do very strongly, and I teach people how to retune back to it. And then step into that every single day with the creativity that I feel inspired to take to be able to express my story and my journey and that documentation. But if you are tracking and recording it along the way, especially when you have a before and after, so that you've got a clear experience of what it looks like at the beginning of the journey, what it looks like at the end of the journey. But then it's also important to document along the way. So tracking and recording it in whatever way suits you. If you're doing a body challenge, you do not have to document it publicly like I am, but I do recommend that you document it for your own records. And this is true of any goal, by the way. And the 10th one is Momentum Loves Community. This lines up as well with accountability, right at the very beginning, where I already said accountability through visibility, but Momentum loves community as well. And especially because you're around people who are like-minded, they have a similar frequency. And so that energy is shared. You're in the consciousness pool of that same energy, and it will help elevate you into action, elevate your spirit, and elevate your energy, and keep you on track. If you would love to be able to join a community of going for your goals, whatever your goals are, maybe their health, maybe their relationship, maybe their business, maybe their career, or any other goal that you've got, my Soul Goal Mapping Challenge is a wonderful community to be able to activate that and move into momentum really fast in a super fun way. So if you'd like to go deeper in any of these concepts that I just shared, and you have goals that you want to go for and you no longer want to be stuck, you want to move forward with micro momentum and get clear action and results even in as short as 5 days, then make sure that you join the waitlist for the next Soul Goal Mapping Challenge, which is in the show notes down below. The next one starts very soon, so the doors to open with that one will be open soon. Definitely get on the waitlist. It's worth being first notified, and plus there's some extra goodies for those who are first in. So what did you love about my 10, or I think there were 11, insights on moving into momentum? Which one resonated for you the most? Are you following along on my journey? Please hit like and love and leave a comment down below, whether you're following along on the journey or you're actually inspired and have you taken any action. By the way, I know for sure a client of mine said this morning on a group call that because of just my video reels, she's now signed up at the gym just a few days ago. And I also have about 6 other people who've sent me messages privately. You all know who you are, thank you. 6 people who are not clients, but definitely inspired by the action and by me sharing it publicly. So my input to you, all of you on this one is share your journey in whatever capacity feels good for you, because other people will be inspired by it as well. And even if you don't share it publicly, people will witness you. It's the joy in the journey, and that magic has a ripple effect, or a butterfly effect, as I like to call it. So with lots of love, light, and manifesting miracles, magic, and more, from my heart to yours, see you next time. See you on the next episode.